What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, this goes out to all the GTA fanatic fans like myself, who love the GTA storyline, who loves following it, who loves seeing other people cover it and things like that, come up with theories about it. Me, I got my own theory, and we are venturing into the city of GTA 4, Liberty City. That's where we're going to for this theory. And the character that I'm going to be covering today is Niko Bellic, hands down one of the most coldest protagonists that GTA has ever created, bro. Like, hands down, can't nobody tell me that there's another GTA protagonist that's better than Niko Bellic, because there's not, in my opinion. Like, that may be an unpopular opinion, but hey, that's how I'm feeling on it, whatever. But anyway, let's get into my theory. So my theory is that Niko is a pawn, like somebody who was sent to Liberty City to destabilize the powers within Liberty City, meaning like all the gangs that they have there, all the mob families they have there and stuff like that. There's a bigger force that's working towards owning Liberty City. And the way they do that is by sending in someone nobody would expect to even come in and try to take over and do anything. That comes to Niko Bellic. If we go back, before we get into it, we have to go back into who Niko Bellic is. So as we all know, Niko Bellic, he had a lot of experience in war, since he was a teenager. He's been through a lot. He's done a lot. He's seen things that, kind of mess him up. So Niko looking like, what? I want a new start. I want a clean start. That's when Roman ended up hitting him up like, hey, come on over here to America. We're going to do what we do. We're going to live it up. So we get to the point where in the beginning of the game, he meets up with Roman. Roman is happy to see him. He's obviously happy to see Roman as well. And everything just seemed to be, cool, gravy and all that stuff like that. But then we get to the point where we find out that Roman has lied. So the reason why I added Roman in this theory is because maybe somebody, the bigger organization, used Roman to get Niko there. Like, there's somebody out there who knew Niko's whole entire past, knew who he was, knew who his family was. And they like, okay, cool. The only way to get Niko over here is to do it with somebody that he trusts. And we all know throughout the game that Niko willing to do anything for Roman. Like, he willing to put people in body bags for Roman, bro. Like, you mess with Roman, you mess with Niko. Like, that's his only family over there. So he wilding out about Roman. So we all know how much he trusts Roman and how much him and Roman are involved in each other's lives. So that's why I'm like, he would definitely be a good person to manipulate into getting Niko over here into America. And that's what they did. Let's also go back and think about the fact that Niko had no type of legitimate documents whatsoever. Like, how did he even get in the States with none of that? Like, most immigrants have a problem. They always run into problems when they don't have legal documentation to entering another country entering another country. But Niko, he got into there very relatively easy. It's like somebody already knew and somebody was already waiting on him to get there. It's like everything was already set up from the get-go, from the jump, which is why I put it out there that he could be a pawn. Now, going into the evidence of why I say these things is, if you think about it, when we get deeper into the storyline, Niko Bellic becomes this, I'm not going to say stepping stool. I'm just going to say he becomes this person that a lot of big crime bosses use in the city to take out other key players within the game. Like, Niko took out a whole bunch of very high profile people. You got Mikhail Faustin, you got Playboy X, you got Derek McRae, you got Draco Brivik, you got all of them. Like, he just took out a whole bunch of dudes who normal dudes won't be able to take out. And if you think about it, Niko isn't even a gangster. Like, he's just a man with military experience. Like, he's not even a gangster. He's not even a low-level gangster. So for him to go in and take these families out relatively with ease and by himself, yes, the organization knew that him right there, he's him. He's him. Like, we need him to do what we need to do. Now, getting to another thing why I say he's a pawn also is because we have a lot of scenarios where he has no choice. So if you think about it, throughout the game, Niko frequently states that he has no choice or he is being used. While this is true on a surface level, the deeper conspiracy suggests that these situations were meticulously engineered. So it's like every time he gets on a path of where he wants to go straight or he wants to escape, he wants something more out of his life, it's like chaos just seemed to follow him wherever he go. Like, it's just dangerous situations start to arise out of nowhere, forcing him back into that cycle of violence that he's trying to run from, and it's just like, it really makes you think, like, why every time he's trying to get on the right track, when he's trying to get away from violent things and trying to be a better person, these things just come up out of nowhere, and somebody else always coming up to him be like, hey Niko, I need your help. Hey Niko, come do this. Hey Niko, come do that. Next, we have the friends who are also handlers. So if you think about it, throughout the game, Niko has like many allies throughout the game. He got Dwayne, he got Packy, he got Roman, sometimes Roman, because most of the times Roman's not really somebody you can depend on. He's kind of scary. He don't really got the mentality or the skills to be a gangster or be in that type of lifestyle. So which is why I kind of get that most times Roman's not really included in most of the things that Niko do, because he not about that. Let's be real, he's not about that. So these people provided opportunities that are also in a form of control, like keeping him embodied in the criminal world. And Packy, for example, directly links him to a high stakes heist that further disrupt the city's power balance. Like, that's not a coincidence. Like, why the very people you're surrounding yourself with, they keep constantly sending you into spiral out and out of control? Like, that's genuinely not something that should be overlooked. Then you have things like the ultimate choice or a false dilemma. So the final choice between the deal with Demetrius and Pergagino, I think that's how you say the name. And then you have the second ending, which is the revenge, which is the killing of Dimitri, is presented as Niko's moment of agency. However, both outcomes serve, as the same unseen matters. Now, let's get a little bit into detail about what these two endings are. So you have, as I said, you have two endings to GTA Liberty City, which is you have the deal. This is where Roman, he ended up getting killed, and this leave Niko feeling very angry and isolated, and he's entrenched in that life, and it's like now serving a potential weekend but still control Pergorino and Dimitri faction. And the chaos, it continues and it keeps going. Like, it just get worse. So then you have the second ending. If you choose the second ending, this is where Kate dies, and this, I think this is probably the saddest ending for me, because Roman was in love, y'all. Like, Roman, he deserved happiness, like he deserved to be happy, but people just gotta take that away. But anyway, Kate dies, solidifying Niko's, his alienation from other people, and this literally confirms him being in a cycle of violence. And Dimitri, he's a chaotic, unpredictable person in general, and he's making the remaining criminal landscapes more manageable for the puppet masters, which in this case, which is what I said, is the bigger organization that sent Niko there. So Niko loses something deeply personal, and this will cement his place as a tool in the industry. Well, not industry, that's the wrong word, y'all. My bad, I'm thinking too much. Sentiment in his place in the world as being used as a pawn, on a chessboard, somebody's playing him. And there's a lot of other things that goes on throughout the series, but if this do as well as I wanted to do, I will go back and list more things adding into this theory and why I said this theory is the way it is. But if you guys enjoyed it, if you guys stayed through the whole video, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if I should do a part 2. Let's try to get me to 20 subscribers, bro. Like, that would be great. But anyway, that's going to end the video for today. I'm going to switch it up, though. Wait a minute. Run it back.